Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to call the mayor's Selectmen meeting to order, May 15th. Can you please stand and join me in the pledge of allegiance? Wait a minute.
Ready, Tony?
It's ready on. Yeah, right. No, I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Item 3 would be public comments. Does anybody in the audience have a comment or would like to ask a question? Seeing none, item 4.
Just get a text alert.
Sorry. Approval of minutes, May 1st, 2017. Special Board of Selectmen meeting.
I move we approve as submitted.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to approve as submitted. Any additions or corrections? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Any abstentions? 4B, May 1st, 2017, Board of Selectmen regular session meeting.
Move to, oh my God.
Accept.
Accept as presented, please.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to accept as presented. Discussion? Additions, corrections? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions. You received in number 5 a letter dated May 3rd, 2007 from Attorney William St. Ange regarding the sale of 39 Recreation Park Road to Crystal. How do you pronounce that last name? Maj? Maj. Okay, and the letter basically states we're gonna split the $5,000 with the service district. Anybody have a problem with that? That's good. Item 6. General government, not a reporting month. Charter revision, not a reporting month. Special service district. Renee's not here, and neither is Roy Simmons. We'll pause that. 7C, Putnam facilities, that's an executive session. There is something we have to go into executive session, Mary. Let's put that, okay, staff reports. Economic development. You have it in your thing, we have the beautiful Delpha here. Any questions for Delpha? Seeing none, we'll move on to building official.
Chad was unable to make the meeting tonight. He had some stuff he had to take care of at home unexpectedly, so if you have any questions, let me know what they are and I will relay and find the answers.
Thank you, Mary. Fire marshal, 8C. You received Norm's report. Does anybody have any questions for Norm? He is here.
It was just a good one, Norman. At least we know what's going on.
Very good, Norm. Thank you. Town administrator's report. Mary has submitted her report. Does anybody have any questions on her report? Okay.
Good too.
Unfinished business, Cargill Falls. That could be an executive session later on. Okay, go to 11, grant consideration and updates. Any grants we should be aware of, Mary?
No, not at this time.
Okay.
We're still working on the ones
Okay.
for the load set, which, when I have the application ready, will come to you first.
New business. Owen?
I'd like to add one thing to the agenda, which could go, I don't know where you wanna do it.
At the end.
All right, on the announcements. We'd like to, we have some money for the Saban Street project, and we'd like to set some aside to pay for digging of the holes. This isn't gonna happen right away until Mary's ready, but we're trying to get the okay so we can set up this and take care of it, so.
You're talking about the gravel, so we can get the
Yeah.
potential bidders to
Well,
look
we
at
gotta
that.
advertise so we can have the bidders there and,
Yep.
you know, everything that Mary has to do first, and
So put it on.
she's got it on fast track anyway.
So it would be 12J.
So Jay?
So it's, we don't know what the cost, but somewhere between 1,000 and 1,500 maybe just to dig the holes, and we're gonna have, say 2,000 maybe, I don't know.
So you want me, you're gonna make, you have a motion to add that to Jay, so I'll second that.
I want to add, would like to add to 12J a motion, and it's been seconded to
Look at the cost for the.
cost for the,
To consider allocating the cost for test pits to be performed
On
on the
Sabin
Sabin
Street.
Street project, on Sabin Street.
20 tests.
Whatever, it was done 20 years ago, so I think we need the current data on that. All those in favor of adding that to the agenda, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay, Owen, you're down for 12J. 12A, accept the resignation of unaffiliated John Dignam from the Economic Development Commission.
I move we accept with regret.
Second.
Motion made to accept John Dignam's resignation with regret. Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Ayes have it. Consider approval of a proclamation honoring Donna Broussard for over 30 years of volunteerism for the Girl Scouts.
I will make that motion to consider that proclamation.
Second.
Motion made, second, to give Donna Broussard a proclamation for her years of service to the Girl Scouts. All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Ayes have it. 12C. Consider the reappointment of unaffiliated Peter Pizanko of 559 Pomfret Street as a full member to the Recreation Commission for a term to expire November 30, 2021.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made, second, to add Peter Pizanko. Are there any questions? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Anybody abstain? Ayes have it. Consider the Republican of Republican Mary Kozlowski of 174 Park Street as a full member to the Housing Authority for a term to expire October 31, 2021.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to add Mary on as the full member. For those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Consider the appointment of Republican Jennifer Benzie of 40 Liberty Highway as a full member to the Housing Authority to fulfill the vacant term to expire October 31, 2017.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made, seconded to add,
Sorry,
you gonna make it on?
no,
Okay.
Do you need a drink?
no, all
All those in favor of adding Jennifer Benzie to the full member of Housing Authority, signify by saying aye.
right.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Beautiful. Accept the resignation of unaffiliated Angelica Feldrowski from the Putnam Art Council.
So moved. With
Second.
regret.
Motion made to accept Angelina's resignation with regret from the Art Council. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay. G, Town Administrator involvement in WPCA matters. Discussion, possible vote. Mary, perhaps you can explain that.
Sure, so I know that when I was hired, one of the, directions from the Board of Selectmen was that, I wasn't gonna have any involvement in the WPCA matters, which the day-to-day operations should stay with Jerry in overseeing that. And I understand that the previous town administrator had gotten very involved in a lot of, the projects. My only, recommendation here was just involvement with regards to contract negotiations. Cause ultimately the town does have some overall responsibility for the WPCA, so I just wanted to be able to have, and I wanted to come to you guys, to you as a board first, to get that, support and just having that, kind of more overarching, higher level support for the, rest of the staff.
Wasn't there some other stuff too, Mary, that, no, maybe not, maybe I'm making that up, never mind.
So this would be, you know, an example is, the Pomfret sewer connection. We've been in, negotiations with Pomfret on that. And I would only be on, you know, as part of the overall understanding of what that contract is, so that way, when we look at, and as well as their capital projects, just so when we're looking at overall debt burden to the town on a global basis. Although it's all paid by sewer user fees, the town still has to make consideration for that in our, debt portfolio and in our communications, in the future to any rating agencies. You know, occasionally we'll get a phone call here about, a WPCA matter, and, you know, it's easier for me to be able to handle it if I kinda have an idea of some of the stuff that's been going on the bigger picture. And as far as the town's finance, right now, as far as the WPCA's financial piece, they've been contracting with Paula to be able to do their books. I think there's some, it would be better if we could, merge that into the town's overall financial, package, which they're currently doing. They're putting that onto the, Infinite Visions, but then the finance director would be able to give better and more timely reports to the WPCA throughout the year, so they know more timely where they are along with their budget. Which is, you know, in towns of this size, it's fairly, common for the finance department to handle more of the, overall financial records.
So what are you looking for in a motion?
Really just a motion, supporting my, interaction with the WPCA for negotiations and other management action, I guess.
I'll make that motion.
Second. Discussion. I talked to Mary about that, and she raised some very good points. Doug was overly involved in WPCA, and I know as this board voted unanimously that when we hired a new town administrator, Mary, she wouldn't be as involved as Doug was. And this is just something that Mary brought up that makes a lot of sense. They do negotiate contracts, they do use town money, they do use town facilities. So it's good that Mary gets with them to get a handle on what's going on with the WPCA. And I think it would give us a better handle on the water, just like the Pomfret sewer line thing like that. That's all legal stuff, and Mary goes to the meetings with Bill, and it just helps. It's a more helpful situation by having our town administrator involved with them. Not the extent of Doug, but just so that she's involved at a point where she has her hand and gives us a grasp of what's going on.
Would it be safe to say it's more for like open communication, so that way we have an easier,
Definitely.
you know, if there's a question, we know who to go to, and it keeps the lines of communication open with them?
Yeah, and it can help with some of the, more complex, matters that are going on with legal and stuff like that, that I can give added support to Jerry in trying to, figure that stuff out.
Anybody else have any questions for Mary? All those in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Okay.
Anybody opposed? Any abstentions? Okay.
I make a motion to pay all the full bills.
Second. Motion made by Owen, second by Scott to pay all approved bills. Any discussion, any outstanding bills, any questions on the bills?
And budget.
All those in favor of paying all approved bills, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Announcements, I have no announcements. Does anybody have an announcement? Mary, do you have any announcements?
I have no
We have my
announcement.
J.
Pardon me?
And what about my J?
You didn't
It's
come
coming,
yet.
this is I.
That's aye, that's aye, that's aye. Now J,
Anxious.
J is the motion we added to the agenda is,
Where would you, did you wanna pull that money from surplus?
No, there's money put away for Saban Street, and just take some of the money for that, whenever we dig the holes, based on what our rate that we okayed just a little while ago.
Right, SAS,
Or whatever,
yeah.
you know.
So we could there's currently funds available in the, facility study group line that was transferred from, fund balance. It was 39,000. There's enough left in there after we get through costing that we could transfer, and my recommendation would be transferring up to 2,500 to a capital project, so that way when we get to the point, because it may actually transition over fiscal years, put it into a capital project so that money doesn't lapse. And then we can utilize that to do the pre-referendum, the pre-RFP, test pits when we get to that point. And just for timing purposes, so everybody kinda understands that timing, we still have to develop scope of the RFP. And then we would advertise, we would do a mandatory requirement for any potential bidders to come and witness that. And then, in order for us to get any real response out of that, they have to submit their responses to that bid package. So timing wise, we're looking probably at around at least a 2-month time span in order for us to get the document prepared. It's, you know, gonna have a fair amount of moving pieces on that we gotta be able to iron through, get it out on the street, have that done, and then get responses back. So we're probably looking at not really having, responses back until sometime at the end of July to beginning of August. We do have, estimated gravel content on Sabin Street from the work that was done when they were looking at doing it for using it for the high school, so there was test pits and borings that were done back then. So we're using that currently to estimate, and from the 2 different, firms that have looked at that, the quantities wise has stayed substantially close. So, and again, test pits aren't gonna necessarily drastically revise, total quantity, because you're not gonna know total quantity until you get everything out of the ground.
Right.
You know,
It'll tell us quality.
it will tell us quality,
Right.
and so that will be the difference on that, but timing wise, we'll probably be developing a revenue number a little bit earlier than that, because we're gonna be going to the public. But we'll be able to potentially have a firmer number, before we get to referendum.
So, do you wanna make that motion?
You just did.
Oh, and then I just seconded it?
You seconded
All
it.
right, so we're all set.
We had a discussion just now.
That was discussion.
All those in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Are there any abstentions? Ayes have it, so ordered. Start digging, Mary.
I must be in a hurry tonight.
You are. Okay, public comment. Does anybody in the audience would like to make a comment or ask a question? Seeing none, we'll go to 14, which is we need to make a motion to adjourn to executive session.
Recess.
Recess to executive
I'll
session.
make that motion.
I'll second.
Motion made, second to go into executive session. All those in favor?
Hold on.
Invited.
Are we inviting?
We're inviting Mary and Bill St. Ange.
So I will
Anybody else?
amend my motion to say that.
Oh, you should have known that.
No, I don't know.
You've been deputy secretary mayor for many, many years. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay, Bill and Mary, you may stay.
You're more than kind, sir.
Yes.
John, hit the road.
I'll be right back.